everyone, welcome to Build. I'm your host, Brittany Jones-Cooper, and today I'm sitting down with Robin Givens. She's here to talk about the new OWN series, Ambitions, where she plays Stephanie Carlisle, the wife of Atlanta's mayor, whose true loyalty is to her own family's prestigious law firm. The show has lovers, enemies, and oh, so much scandal. Take a look.
Now approaching Mayor Evan Lancaster and the always beautiful Stephanie Carlisle Lancaster.
The show's over, Evan.
Here's the bitch we all know and love. What are you gonna do, Stephanie?
Don't disrespect me. It'll be the last thing that you do. More clients, more money, more power. You have an insatiable appetite. I'm the future of this firm.
You are a brilliant attorney, Stephanie, but you've got a lot to learn.
We'll just see about that, Daddy. What do you make of the rumors and allegations against your husband, Mayor Lancaster? Is this Amara, the federal prosecutor speaking? Could be Amara, your ex-best friend.
Don't underestimate me, Stephanie.
Your sister needs to be handled.
You think you can just steal my restaurant? We are not for sale!
Either you convince her to sell, or I'm gonna have to step in over my dead body. I wouldn't have it any other way.
You really want the dirt on Lancaster? Talk to his mistress.
This is my city. She's messing with the wrong family.
We can't have that.
We love each other. I deserve the ring on my finger. He's never going to leave his wife. I thought when we moved here, things would be different. Do you still have feelings for Stephanie?
Lovers, competitors, enemies, friends, scandal. And that's just for starters. Give me what I want.
Miss Amara is a naughty, naughty girl.
I have to do what's best for me.
Don't make me save you from yourself.
Your threats are as empty as your promises.
Gird your loins.
Sister-in-law, I'm the one who run these streets.
Do you have any idea how many laws you're breaking?
You don't know what you're capable of.
Think about making threats. You have to be prepared to follow through.
You have that predatory gleam in your eye.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I'm the woman that's going to destroy your life and never give you another thought.
Give it up for Robin Givens.
I love that trailer.
That trailer is so good. First of all, how they can make Moneybag classical is genius. First
Right?
of all.
I'm a sucker for that trailer.
I am too.
I've watched it 100 times. It's so cool.
It gets you in the right mindset for this show.
I think so.
So I was at the American Black Film Festival last weekend, as
Where we
you
met?
were.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And people were talking about this, and people
Right.
got to screen the pilot, and they were still talking about it. So
Yeah.
how does that feel? That people are so excited for
Well,
this show?
it was the first, I'd actually seen it before then, but it was so great to see it with an audience. So you get to see and hear everybody's reaction, and when they actually get what's going on, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of ooh, oh.
Ooh,
'Cause you're-
ooh, I knew it.
Right, because your character, Stephanie, is so bad she's good. So tell the audience about Stephanie. Who is she?
She's so bad. She's delicious. That's all I can say. She's absolutely delicious. I think every woman needs a little bit of Cardi B in them and a little bit of Stephanie Lancaster. I'm not kidding. I mean, I want a little Cardi B.
We all do.
I work on that. I've been working on it. I don't have it down yet. And then Stephanie, she kind of plays by her own rules.
Yeah.
It's like everybody else thinks she's bad, but she doesn't know it. It's just she's determined to get whatever she wants, and she kind of thinks she knows best. Has no guilt. I wondered, I used to think, does this woman sleep at night? Does she sleep okay at night? And hair and makeup, they're like, oh, she sleeps just fine. If she doesn't get you, that's when she's not gonna sleep. So she's so much fun to play. So it was kind of challenging to me because I really wanted to give her a little bit of a sense of humor, a little bit of a wink and a nod. I mean, I want people, even if they hate her, to be loving her while they're hating her. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the same thing with Cersei on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You
That's
love that woman because she's just doing what she wants to
Yes.
do, and there's a level of respect for that. What do you think is her biggest motivator? What do you think really pushes her for the ambition to be successful?
Well, I think her father. I think the relationship with her father. She really believes that the law firm has been in her family for a period of time, and it always gets passed on. But her dad is not giving it to her just because she's a woman. And she wants to prove that she can keep up with the boys. And I've been saying, because I was thinking about this, I grew up with old classics. I loved Betty Davis. I loved Rita Hayworth, Lena Horne, Eartha Kitt. I love women that can keep up with the boys, but still be feminine, still look good in a dress. And that's how I think of her.
What do you think is her greatest strength and weakness? Because I got to watch the first 2 episodes, and I'm trying to figure out,
You're trying to figure it out, right?
Like where her kryptonite is, what is going to be the thing that we get to see that weakness or vulnerability.
That's interesting. Well, you'll definitely see her vulnerable, because I do think that she genuinely feels that she'll never be as good enough for her father. She'll no matter what she does, law school, no matter what she does, she's never going to be good enough. So I think that kind of breaks her heart. Now, we have to explain to the audience, because you saw it, she went to school. She was a sorority sister with Essence Atkins, right? Mara Hughes. And she dated a man. She was in love with a man. We can ask your audience this. She was in love with a man. And they broke up for a period of time, which men and women do periodically.
It was a break.
And, it's college. You break up, take a break. And her best friend starts dating this man. Give it up to.
What do we think?
That's what I want to hear, because I keep trying to tell them when they're saying she's such a good girl. I'm like, she broke girl code. Right. So and she ends up marrying him. Yes. So when she returns when she comes to this town, to Atlanta, my character has not forgotten. That's right. That's the look I have. Close your mouth. She has not forgotten, and she is determined to get her back.
Let's talk about Amara Hughes, played by the wonderful Essence.
Essence, yes.
You guys, the tension on screen, you just described why there's that tension, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
So did you know Essence before this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Essence and I know each other. She's a wonderful actress. But I mean, we are really playing our character. And I think with my character, I don't think she likes to lose anything. And she took something that belonged to her. So now you must pay. I'm going to do everything in my power, I've now become Stephanie, to destroy you, to ruin your marriage, and bring you down. And it's so much fun.
So much fun. What work, if any, did you and Essence do off screen to sort of get that tension? Or is that just something that happens when he says, when
I think that what happens is, acting is an interesting thing. Somebody once said to me, I was doing this play a while back with Tessa Thompson. Oh my God, I forgot Tessa. I was doing it with Tessa, who's now like everywhere.
Huge.
And so fabulous. So we were doing Blues for an Alabama Sky, which is this classic at the Pasadena Playhouse. Sheldon Epps, wonderful director. And I had a very difficult character, and it was hard for me to kind of shake Angel at the end of the night. I mean, I'd still get home and I'd still be crying. It was hard to shake it. And, he was basically saying, you've loaned your body to this other person. You've loaned it to this person. So I think even here, as you're finding Stephanie Lancaster and she's finding Amara Hughes, all of a sudden you really take on everything that they're feeling. It's living inside you. So even in hair and makeup, I see Titus and I'm like, you did me wrong. I mean, you really do genuinely feel that. You have to say, okay, this isn't real. Yeah.
What do you think her motivation is with Titus? Is it purely competition and revenge, or do you think there's love there that she still has to sort of sort through?
So keep in mind, as actors, your script's sort of the Bible, right? So it's how you find the history. So, initially I thought there is or was genuine love. Yeah. But our creator, Jamie Giddens, actually explained it pretty well at ABFF, which is the love story is really first and foremost with these 2 women. And women in terms of friendship, and this friendship was broken, which I found really interesting. And there is a scene that we do a little bit later where you feel that Titus is like, gonna get Stephanie, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm going to.
Keep
I'll get in trouble later. But she says, if you even think you can get any of this, it would only be to bother your wife. It would have nothing to do with you, which I think is kind of interesting. So even if there is love, I think she's genuinely hurt by what Amara did. So even if you talk about like where her heart lies, I think there is that sense of being hurt.
And she's also just competitive.
And she's also just, see, I was trying to warm her up. You just blew it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a competitive woman too. I'm not knocking her at all.
No, she is competitive.
Competition is good.
Yeah.
You just said one of the lines you get to say. You get to say, I think, some of the best lines in the series just because they're just so charged.
They are juicy.
So do you have a favorite or one that you go back to?
Let me tell you. even there's something that she says to Titus. He said, give me your best. And she said, right?
That's what I wrote down.
And she says, it's my worst that should concern you. She has so many, and they just get better and better. I think it's nice that it was sort of a collaboration, because the way I sort of leaned into the characters and the writers kind of leaned in, and I wanted to give her that humor, and they come up with wonderful lines, so it's nice.
What is the vibe like on set? Because you have some of the best, the cast is so dynamic. I've seen them work everywhere. What is the vibe like? It's sort of a dramatic show, but is it a fun set or is it a serious set?
Oh, no, it's so much fun. I don't want anybody to think this is a serious show whatsoever. You'll have a good time. This is like, have a glass of wine, get some popcorn. Your boyfriend's gonna say, I don't wanna watch it, and then he's not gonna be able to like move away. There's so much sex going on and naked women, he's not gonna be able to stop, It is a great set. I always kind of think, too, the magic lies with people's relationships, whether you're in hair and makeup or transportation is like waiting to see what the next script's gonna be. It was fun. We had a lot of fun, a lot of laughter.
Yeah, and you're in New York.
And I'm learning to twerk.
You're going to twerk?
No, not now.
Oh,
but
I was like, okay. I was like, I'm so excited.
I won't be very gay. No, let me tell you, I am determined. I know I'm segueing a little bit, but I'm telling you the truth. They're trying to teach me to twerk. Somebody says the answer, the key is in your ankles, which really then threw me. My son has been, everybody's trying to teach me to twerk. I think it's going to take at least 3 seasons for me to learn to twerk.
The ankles. See,
my
I would
twerker is
say
broken.
the knee.
The
I
knees?
think a slight bent,
little
bent in your knee allows the
in
lower back
Miami,
to free up.
In Miami, I was like, I gotta, gotta pop it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll work on it. We'll work
Later.
on it. My twerk is miserable. I should not be the one giving you any sort of tips. On the twerking note, what is it like working in Atlanta? Because I know you've lived in New York for a while.
Well, New York's my home.
Yeah, so what is
New
it like
York's my
kind of
home.
relocating down there to shoot this?
LA's my second home. I've been shooting Riverdale in Vancouver. So we shoot in Riverdale in Vancouver, and then I was doing The Fix in LA, and then Atlanta. And my hair keeps getting longer in Atlanta. My butt got a little bit bigger in Atlanta. I haven't learned to twerk, but it's true. You eat some good shrimp and grits, and
cornbread helps the twerking.
So anything to make it work. I've loved it. I've loved it. It's set in Atlanta, the show. Will Packer, who I'm such a huge, he did Girls Trip.
Think Like a Man.
Yeah, crazy. So if you think about this show and the magic of the show, and you're asking what it's like on the set, I think it really starts with him. When I'm telling you, a talented man, but kind and humble and sincere, it's been wonderful. So I think he kind of goes along with Atlanta. He loves Atlanta, is committed. He shot The Little there, he shoots there. So I've gotten to know it and love it.
I have not missed a film or a show that he's
I do, yeah.
You just know the quality's going to be there. You know it's the casting, too. It's going to always be on point with him.
Yeah.
So I love that.
But he's giving. When I went in to read for this project, I was doing, like I said, Riverdale and The Fix, and The Fix was kind of a difficult role for me. And my agent was like, you've got to read for this. And I'm like, look, I've got enough words going on in my head. I can't take it anymore. And then when I read Stephanie, I was like, oh, I can make her good. Even if she's going to be bad, I'm going to make it good, But I remember I borrowed a dress from The Fix, and then I was like, can I borrow a dress from wardrobe? And I went in, and when you go in and read, there a table, kind of like this a little bit, depending, with people watching you. But I'll never forget Will there, just with these encouraging eyes and giving you notes, but with love and encouragement. So.
And the encouragement is there because she made me think a little bit of Jacqueline Boyer from Boomerang. Only the success part and the confidence.
Right.
So do you think those two women would get along, Stephanie Carlisle and Jacqueline
Boyer? Who would win in a fight?
Right?
I don't know. Wow. Right? I think Stephanie might win. I don't know. If it was mental, I think Jacqueline might win, if you keep it mental. But Stephanie's kind of got a little she's got a little bit more sauce and a little bit, you know what I mean? So, and definitely
probably
more
a Scorpio.
Maybe. And definitely more of a sense of humor than Jacqueline. Definitely more of a sense of humor. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Riverdale.
Yes.
Such a hit, such a big show. When I told people I was going to be talking to you, which I was talking about it because I was very excited, people were like, you have to ask her about Riverdale. How has your fan base changed since doing that show? Because the fans are so rabid and supportive, and it seems like an amazing experience.
Riverdale has been really interesting for me on my journey because I started so young. Like I think I got my SAG card when I was like 10. You know what I mean? And then, I was kind of out there. Like one thing led to another and it was like boom. And then I had children and I kind of like went away for a little bit and raised them and became a little bit of a tennis mom, And as they got older and they were like, okay, you've got to leave the house and get out of our lives a little bit. I started thinking about acting more. And Riverdale was kind of a big part of that journey, So it was like the first thing I did that I had no idea was going to be such a hit. But I grew up with Archie, and Veronica and Betty and Josie and the Pussycats. And I was like, wait, Josie's mom? That's really cool. Well, the Archie I grew up with, Ms. Grundy was 70 with a gray bun. And this Riverdale, she's like 26 and hot and sleeping with Archie. So I was like, sign me up. Yeah.
So what do we have to look forward to in that world? I know there's going to be a spinoff of
Katie Keene. Well, first of all, I got married to Sheriff Keller.
Yes, you did. Super dreamy.
I always thought he was hot. I so hope Tom's not watching this. Like, sometimes people come in the set, and the hair and makeup trailer, which is where actors kind of meet each other. And I was like, ooh, who's that guy? And that was before my character and his character had anything to do. But I always thought, yeah, he was hot.
So you manifested that.
Maybe.
You brought it to you.
I was like, oh my God. So I wanted to do Ambitions, but I didn't want to leave Sheriff Keller,
So Brian White is.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of your male co-stars are pretty hot.
He is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's very hot. He's very hot. My mom thinks he's hot. I'm like, you're going to have all the 70-year-old women, Brian. I don't know what this means for your life, but he is hot. Yeah. And we get to, at first, because you've seen it. So, when you initially watch the episode, you're not sure where the relationship is. So Brian kept saying, like, everybody's having sex, so I get to have sex with my wife? And I think they really weren't sure, but.
We'll see.
They do.
Okay, thanks. Because I hadn't seen that yet, but I was crossing my
yeah.
fingers for it.
God, I hope it's not like spoiler alerts. But it's
really
nice to look forward to that, right?
I enjoy looking forward to it. Because the show is shot so beautifully, too. Right. All the love scenes are very beautiful, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and to see, like, how those characters from the first night get to where they are and what their relationship's really like.
Real quick on the Riverdale spinoff.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
Katie Keene. Oh, well, Ashley Murray, who plays Josie, my daughter, who's just immensely talented. I mean, it's crazy being around them because they can all sing and dance and are all beautiful and hot. I don't know why. I guess if you think about it, we're wondering why it's a hit. Like KJ is a crazy singer and guitar player, right? And Lily Reinhart can sing, and Cammie, and so I'm so happy for Ashley. So it's kind of set a little bit later, and she and a group of friends are pursuing their dreams in New York City. So how cool to have that in New York City.
And how fun is it for you to be in this stage of your career? You mentioned you took a little time away. You were still doing parts, but you weren't a series regular or a reoccurring role.
Yeah.
So what does it mean for you at this point in your career to have such meaty roles to bite into?
Yeah, it's really cool. I would do something like if a friend called me up, like that's how I did Head of State. Like Chris would call me up and say, hey, do you want to do a movie? You can still take the kids to tennis here. Just come do the movie, But I wasn't like going in and pursuing it. But I think it's kind of interesting just in terms of being a woman, because I think we give so much of ourselves, and especially as mothers or wives, we're always giving, and then to learn to kind of circle back and give to yourself. And I think women, we can oftentimes make everybody else our project and fix things, but then all of a sudden to say, okay, what do I want? What do I like? What movies do I like? What food do I like? What are my dreams? So then to have, kind of even the courage, I think in my respect, to kind of not hide behind the cloak of motherhood. I'm going to be the best mother I can be and make you the best person. But to say, wait a minute, let me have the courage to be all I want to be and all I've dreamed of being. And for me, it did take some courage because you are kind of not in line, but you're in a certain place and then you step away and you don't come back to that place, and there are new people around and you have to go, wait a minute, I have to have the courage and strength, believe in myself, to walk into a room with new faces and say, okay, look, I'm still putting my best up against your best. You know what I mean? But believing in yourself, you know?
Do you think that's probably the biggest change in your approach from, you mentioned getting your SAG card at 10, right? Your approach then versus now, is it just that confidence of being like, I belong here?
You know what? I think I probably had the confidence that youth brings, because sometimes you're doing things not even knowing how difficult it is. And I've said no to things that I look back and I go, what the heck did I say no to that? Was I crazy? You know, you just think things will come, you know? And you realize as you mature that opportunities are special and they don't come at your whim when you call upon them. Something also happens with maturity where maybe you get in your head a little bit too much and think too much. So for me, it takes more courage probably to walk in the room. Sometimes I'm going into rooms and people are asking for my autograph. So I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta go read, you know? So it's a little different, but it's nice to get over the hump, you know, to do the thing you're scared to do. And I was scared to death reading for Riverdale. And the room was like, it was like this. And there were so many people in that room. And then to have somebody go, okay. Yeah. And I think for me to get back to just concentrating on the work. You know, when I was younger, I would like go around New York City and knock on a door and you sign in. And I just loved the work. It wasn't about fame. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about people knowing who you were. I just loved doing the work. So to me, I've gone full circle. And I just love doing it.
Yeah, and I can tell you love doing it, especially with Stephanie.
Yeah,
like,
I love her
the way
so
you
much.
bring her to life. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that must be so fun
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah, everybody's gonna want to be Stephanie.
Oh,
My
yeah.
son was on the set like the first day, and he was like, "Ooh, you have the fun role, Mom." Yeah,
You really do. I can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah.
Before we go, we do have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So who do we have first? Back there.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just curious if you had any dream person that you'd like to collaborate with in the future.
Oh, wow. You know, I remember being younger, and I tested with Denzel Washington once in a room. I'll never forget that. I think Sheryl Lee Ralph got the part. I didn't get it. And then later for Malcolm X, I tested him with him again. I had an audition, and he was like, no, Robin, you're doing it all wrong. Like, think about this. And it was like so interesting to like look and be talking to Denzel Washington as he's explaining acting, you know? So, I mean, I love great actors. So give me a great actor and I love it. Yeah.
Awesome. And one more?
Hi.
Hello, handsome.
So I was wondering, with the show exploring legacy, what's it like?
I didn't even hear a thing you said back. Okay. You have to start again. Okay, I'm
With
concentrating.
the show kind of playing with the idea of legacy, what's it like kind of tackling this time-honored, like wine-sipping, popcorn sort of drama in like a modern day?
What's it like tackling that? I think it's wonderful. I mean, I think it's wonderful to see. You know, I want people to have fun watching the show, and they will have fun. So, you know, you deal with politics and you know, law stuff, legalese, all that stuff, but really they're dealing with relationships and power and trying to control their own power. But it'll be nice to do a show where people want to tune in every week to see what happens, and you get that sense like, oh my God, what's going to happen, you know? So that makes it fun. Yeah.
Yeah, just so you guys know, I had planned just to watch the pilot, and I couldn't stop, and I had to watch the second one because I need to know where this goes.
Yeah.
And like you said, part of my main attraction to the show is seeing you and Essence on that screen, going back and forth.
Yeah.
I think fans are going to
love
love that, and
Yeah.
there's going to be so many think pieces about that dynamic.
Right.
Can't wait to see
Right.
it. If you guys want to check out Ambitions, it premieres tonight at 10/9
that's right.
Central on OWN.
I forgot.
Give it up for Robin Givens.
I forgot that part. Yeah. I forgot.